I've always been obsessed with my digital footprint. I back up everything, every photo, every voice memo, every stray thought. It's all saved in a server farm somewhere so I don't have to remember it myself. I live in a smart apartment here in New York City. Everything is automated. The lights, the locks, and especially the memories app on my phone. Every morning I get a recap. Usually it's a picture of my Kawasaki from a year ago or some grainy shot of a burger. But this morning, the notification felt heavy. 1 year ago today, bedroom. I tapped it. It was a photo of me, dead asleep, taken from the floor of my closet. I live alone. I've always lived alone. My heart did a slow, cold roll in my chest. I checked the metadata. Device, unknown. File size, 0 kilobytes. Timestamp, February 9th, 2025, 3:14 a.m. Whatever, I whispered. My own voice sounded thin in the quiet room. Just a glitch. A server-side error. I looked over at my closet door. It was shut, but right at the very top, 8 feet up, pressed into the crown molding where the sliding door meets the frame, there was a tiny, piercing green light. It looked like the camera active dot. My stomach dropped. Nothing that tall should be in there. No person could stand that high in a standard closet. Suddenly, my phone let out a piercing chime. New memory added, 0 seconds ago. I pulled the phone back to my face, my thumb trembling as I swiped. The new photo was taken from that same high angle at the top of my closet, but the bed was empty. The pillows were tossed aside. In the photo, a version of me was standing on the mattress, reaching up toward the ceiling with arms that had too many joints. I looked back up from the screen, and the air in the room felt different. Thick, wet. The closet doors were wide open now. They hadn't made a single sound. But my eyes didn't stay on the closet. I saw something above the door frame that didn't look like the ceiling. It was a texture, a pulsating organic gray pattern bleeding out of the closet. It looked like thousands of wet, overlapping fingerprints layered over each other, vibrating so fast they made my teeth ache. I followed the texture with my eyes, tracing it away from the closet. The thing hadn't just come out. It was already here. A massive, fleshy bridge had forced its way out of the top of the closet. A translucent cable of muscle and pale skin fused directly to my ceiling. I tracked the stretch with my eyes, moving faster and faster across the drywall. The body spanned the entire length of the room, a sagging canopy of meat hovering just 3 feet above my bed. The skin was so thin and stretched I could see shapes churning inside it. Faces and hands pushing against the translucent underbelly, silent and desperate. I kept following the bridge of the flesh all the way to the end, right until my head was tilted back against the headboard. It ended directly above my face. The head wasn't crawling out. It was already out. It was dangling vertically from a neck that looked like a braided cable of wet muscle staring down at me from 6 inches away. It didn't emerge. It was just there, as if it had been waiting for me to finish my phone call with the dead. It had my face, but it was unfinished. No nose, just those wet, gray eyes that looked like swirling static. It was staring into my soul, perfectly still, perfectly patient. My phone vibrated one last time in my hand. Syncing to cloud, 100%. User profile updated. The thing opened its mouth, a perfectly round black void, and I heard my own voice, layered as if 1,000 versions of me were speaking at once. Don't worry, David. You're backed up now.